You can see this. You can see the screen and everything. Just want to make sure we're good to go. It seems that everybody can hear us now. What I'm doing is I'm actually going to be running the presentation from my computer here, and we'll just, when you guys want to come in, you can. So let's get started.
Whoa.
Welcome to BlackCast, everyone. My name is Joopius, and I want to introduce my special guests, David and David. You guys can introduce yourself. Jabulon.
Yo, this is Jabulon.
How are you?
Doing great. I'm not seeing you, though. Are you on here?
Yes.
I think he's doing screen sharing.
I'm doing screen sharing right now.
I get it. Okay, very nice. And there's my colleague, David Zimbeck.
Hi.
We meet again.
Yep.
How are you guys doing today?
Very nice.
Excellent. Well, we've got a ton of stuff to talk about today. We've got POS 2.0. We've got lots of exciting new projects that are coming up. We'll get a little bit of feedback from what you guys in the community are thinking, and we'll basically get the word out there about BlackCoin. I'm excited. Let's get started.
Is the community live, and did this go out on Twitter so that they know that this is actually happening?
Yes.
Okay. Can they ask questions? Can they interact with us?
Yes. We're going to go ahead and accept questions through the BlackCast channel on IRC. I'm not in the BlackCoin channel right now, but I love hanging out in there. BlackCast is where we're going to actually have all of our questions and everything through there. So.
Okay. You might want to keep an eye on BlackCoin pool for that matter.
BlackCoin pool. Let me join that one right now.
Yeah. No. Because they hang out.
Yeah, and just BlackCoin.
Oh, is that what they changed it to?
Yeah, just where most of the people are hanging out. It's just BlackCoin rather than BlackCoin pool.
All right.
All right. I'm on BlackCoin as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, let's
Excellent.
start.
Well, let's get started. We're going to talk about a couple things here. So first of all, let's talk about the first topic, POS 2.0. This is a huge milestone for BlackCoin and alt currencies in general, for that matter. Why don't you guys explain a little bit about what POS 2.0 is, why it's important, and the implications of it?
You want me to take the floor for this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Basically, a lot of people had bought this in general. That's here. I've looked at some of the points from PeerCoin's forums and from BlackCoin's forums, and to be honest, I think it's a big deal because one of the problems Frew had was you didn't have to be continuously connected to the network to keep staking. So that was a security flaw, and I believe that flaw been fixed. Among a few other small modifications. For example, coinage. You can't just save up more power over the network over time by withholding coin from the network. So I think these improvements are actually very significant, and they've really been overlooked by the cryptocurrency community, probably because the summer has been a little slow.
Yeah, actually, that one modification, to heighten the incentive for people to stake their wallets has made a huge difference. It's natural, if people feel a certain amount of paranoia about having their computer on where they've got a crypto wallet, even though it's encrypted and perfectly secure, if they manage their password properly. If you can just accumulate coinage, then leave your computer off for 3 months, quickly get on, stake for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
collect
I
all
was,
your intelligence.
I was told that I could have forked the network before. Like by a few of the other guys, they were like, because I never staked. So they're like, oh man.
Well, I have to say, I like staking. I like feeling that I am plugged into the network and I'm part of what makes the network function and remain secure. And it's just, I think it really goes with just the overall sensation that we get off on by being plugged in and wired in. That's why we're on Twitter and Facebook and all those other things that keep us electronically connected to the whole community.
So POS 2.0, is that the future of altcoins? Is proof of work, you think, going to eventually be non-existent among altcoins?
I think both proof of work and proof of stake serve a purpose. And the difference is, I think proof of work serves a purpose to create new coins because it gives people the feeling that something was given in exchange for the coin that they received. So I think that stake is what it needs to secure the network for the long term. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, I think if Bitcoin doesn't add proof of stake or something to their protocol, they're going to be in trouble within a few years.
Agreed. So kind of like a hybrid model then you see as the future. I would agree with that myself from personal level.
I actually think as well, and this is one thing I want to point out to the BlackCoin community, and I hope that they stay with it. I'm not for we're not too big to fail. So I think that the fact that we're not afraid to add and improve our network is a really big deal. And I don't think it should end with Proof of Stake 2.0. I think we should make innovations that we
Are we still good?
I don't know. Could you hear me?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. And so I was just going to say, so POS 3.0 at some point in the future, maybe.
Yeah, and POS,
Yeah.
POS 4.0 and 5.0. We're in a state of constant, it's just boiling and bubbling over with innovation and ideas. You know, what David has come up with, what Rat4 is coming up with, it's not going to stop. You know, as the world evolves toward cryptocurrency is going to fulfill, you know, it will go into all the nooks and crannies where people have unmet needs. And, you know, David Zimbeck's creations are a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And like we were talking about, the internet is, as an invention, was something that was, generally speaking, in the early to mid '90s, was looked at as, oh, well, this is a technology that clearly is not going to be very useful in the future. You know, it's just for nerds, those type of things. And look where we've come now. We have internet on our phones, even. So that, in a sense, has brought us to a point where we're looking at cryptocurrency right now as it's in its infancy. It's going to move forward. It's just it hasn't taken that hold yet that we've seen with the internet in the past. We're seeing the infancy of something great that is going to change the world. And BlackCoin is exciting to me because it's among the forefront of that type of technology.
Right.
Right. Well, that's what I've been saying and talking to a lot of my colleagues about is that Halo's like YouTube. When it first came out, it's like there's a dance banana.
Yeah.
And the first couple of videos, and nobody really cared about it.
Yeah.
Once people realize that you can do things with coins that you can't do with cash, then they'll start seeing advantages.
Yep. Well, widespread adoption is something we're looking for to happen with BlackCoin. I mean, we've got pretty good adoption right now, but it's always going to be improving. Coinkite is one of those companies that's brought forth BlackCoin adoption. They have a point-of-sale system with Bitcoin and Litecoin. It's important because BlackCoin is the first alt currency that they've essentially added to use with this type of technology. And this is what we're going to see more and more of, is the point of sale. People are going to be constantly buying coins, using coins, and using it for payment. Eventually, in my eyes, I see that this is going to be the only way that it's done. We're not going to use credit cards and credit card numbers in the future. It might be the far future from now, but in the future we may not see that.
Right. The far future now means like 8 months from now.
Exactly. And then the Bitcoin debit card is the same thing. We're going to start seeing a lot more of those. And so let's talk a little bit about exciting projects. Jabulon, what's the most exciting project that you are seeing right now that you think has the potential to change the world?
Well, as everybody knows, the music video dropped about a week and a half ago. It's still a project. Now that it's out there, there's the whole endeavor to just make it go viral and get into as many places as possible. I was looking at the analytics on YouTube, the viewing stats, and it's really incredible just to see the dozens and dozens of countries in the most remote regions of the world where there are, at least, we have views in Uzbekistan and Ivory Coast, and we've got a lot of views coming from Turkey. That was a one surprise. There were about 6 from the top of the list. So, it's the beginning of something. I think that the content of the video itself, in a way, is, it's fun, it's imaginative, but I think it's prophetic. It shows people showing up and buying beautiful cars in crypto, and we're just on the edge of it. It's just anticipating reality a little bit, but it gives people the freedom, and I think we want to just encourage this in ourselves and in the rest of humanity, the freedom to think that life could change in this very marvelous way very soon, and that we're on the brink of that, and that it's an incredibly positive thing. So there's that, and then of course there's this whole France thing that's going on. I'm on the phone with Alisanne every day, and with Zeke. We made a huge splash over there in the south of France on Saturday. There are merchants lining up at the door. Alisanne was having follow-up conversations, all day Sunday, all day today. I just spoke to her a few hours ago. These people want in. They don't even understand the technology very well. They are less than noob level, but they got the feeling for it. They got the vibration of it and the excitement, and so we're going to run with it. We're going to give them. We're going to fulfill their needs and exceed their expectations.
Well said.
I like that.
I would totally agree with that. I mean, it's like you said, it's something that can and will change the world, and you're already seeing people in countries that you would never think of adopting this type of currency that are, and so that's another reason why I think that that BlackCoin is the most exciting coin out there today.
Well, the simplest point of something like BlackHalo, a lot of countries that they can't depend on their own banks and they can't depend on their own currencies, but more importantly, even if they did use some sort of bartering or trading system, such as they can't trust their people. So BlackHalo gives people the option to make an unbreakable contract that they could trust somebody. Like if you were trading something in Peru and you issue something from point A to point B, instead you just set up an unbreakable contract and you don't need to carry any cash on you. They deliver whatever they need to deliver, and then you give them a currency whenever see. So it's the fact that we don't have to worry about trusting strangers, I think, is the biggest deal.
Exactly. That's the kind of we're taking security very seriously these days, right? So, I mean that's a huge piece of BlackHalo, no?
Yeah. Well, the idea is to have something of value, ensure it, so that one of the things I was trying to tell a lot of the Bitcoiners at Cryptolina was, or just in general, I've always been saying this, is that people be careful not to worship Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will become just like the dollar, and it won't be what they want it to be. And I think that that's why altcoins are very important, because altcoins allow for balances in the community. And I think that people should really start taking altcoins very seriously, because they're all going to keep growing, and they're going to keep making security improvements. And if it ever gets that line, altcoin will be there to keep it in check.
Yeah, I heard something recently interesting that one, I think it was Mark Andreessen that said this, but he thought that eventually there would be about maybe 150 coins or so, and you would have wallets for each one of them, and then each one may have a different purpose of spending it, or that kind of innovation and that kind of thinking it really got me to think, because in the future you could have different coins for different things, but you could have coins that you could barter with, in terms of doing secure contracts. So I think that the reason that I'm excited about BlackCoin is because of products like BlackHalo. This is innovation at work here. So this is why it's very exciting to me.
People don't quite see it. The BlackHalo is actually just a protocol, more so than, like, it's a protocol that prevents theft. That's just not possible with cash. Double escrow is not possible with cash, but it is possible with crypto. And the idea of Halo is that it's cross-platform, so that it's not like limited to just one currency, although it's best implemented in BlackCoin because it's where it started. And so every innovation that I give will be given to Bitcoin and BlackCoin first, So.
Excellent. Well, we'll move on here a little bit. One of the things that you're starting to see more and more of these days is Bitcoin ATMs. They're all over the place. There's a ton of startups and venture capitalists cashing in on this. Genesis ATM is the first POS BlackCoin. It's the first BlackCoin ATM, to my knowledge, and it looks like it's also available with Bitcoin as well. But I think that this is what you're going to start seeing everywhere, commonplace. I live in Colorado. I have seen one in Denver. They have one BlackCoin ATM, or not BlackCoin, Bitcoin ATM. I'm not sure what the company was, but I do remember seeing the big B symbol on there. So that was exciting. You've got things like Expresscoin, which is essentially the Coinbase of BlackCoin. So you send money, get coins. It's super easy. Any thoughts on sites like this? I mean, I think that in the future you're going to see a ton more of these. But
definitely,
yeah,
because one of the hurdles that we have is that it's for your average person out there, it's a real pain, and it's complicated and intimidating. This whole process. Okay, I have to get bitcoins, and then I do what? I set up a trading account over at Cryptsy or Bittrex or whatever, and then I've got to engage in trades. I've never done trading before in my life. I'm not a day trader. What do I know? It's very intimidating. We want to bridge that gap so that people who want to do currency arbitrage and screw around with that, or any of us, we take it for granted. We could do it in our sleep at this point, but it's a lot to ask someone who's new to crypto. So if you can just go to a website, buy some coins the way you buy any other merchandise, it just is going to be such an enhancement to getting it out there. We don't want to make it difficult for people. It's already hard enough.
Well, actually, the thing with BlackHalo, you should be able to buy coins right through the client, without having to deal with Bitcoin. I think the reason why it has services is because there isn't enough people really connected to the client. And there isn't anywhere they can post their listings. Like if somebody was going to list coins on, they're working with NightTrader's decentralized floor yet, and of course that's for security reasons. I want to make sure that I keep it clean, and I keep the content on there clean. Services like Expresscoin. Services like this are going to be very useful. because we could even bind them to contracts. You know, I'm hoping there are a lot of different partners for coins where they can extend their ability to fund people with coins through contracts that they have to sign for, so that way that people don't have trust in strangers.
Yeah, I think we're in a situation where cryptocurrency is slightly ahead of its time. It's just barely, not quite coming into its own. It's just getting out the door. David is at the forefront of that. David is even more ahead of our time, although he's up and running. And the rest of the world is just trying to catch up to what the hell is a Bitcoin? What is crypto? We've got to bring these worlds together, and so, a year ago we were all screwing around on whatever, Crypto Rush, trying to get some altcoins, and, that's evolved, and now we've got things like Expresscoin that make it easier and more recognizable. I think that's a huge thing, more recognizable to your average customer, consumer. I go to a website, I make a purchase. Don't bother me, And then a little further down the road, the general population will be more sophisticated, will be used to crypto, and then David's kind of work will start to be the underlying technology powering more and more of these user-friendly interfaces, and will become a way of life.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to agree with that. It needs to hit consumers. I've heard talk to a few people. People are still trying to explain to the random person what a Bitcoin is. I have a hard time explaining to, my uncle, what a Bitcoin is. It's a whole new generation. It's like a whole new way of thinking about money, but it'll happen. It'll happen the same way the internet happens. So as long as BlackCoin is always there at the front door with new technology, I think that's going to be the key to success. Because these projects aren't just for us, they're for everybody, to the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I have a hard time explaining Bitcoins or BlackCoins or any other alt currencies to people that will actually take me seriously, because some people think that it's just a fad and that it's not going to go away, and it's just a way to make quick money by trading. But to me, I would like to spend my coins in a way that is helpful to the economy, which is eventually where we're going to be. But as of right now, people don't understand it. Just like people didn't understand the internet in the mid-90s. People were like, well, no one's going to use this. I mean, why would we want to use this? But they didn't understand all of the implications that come along with that. And it's the same thing with crypto.
Right, and we have to be considerate. We're so used to talking to each other, and of course, for us, it's second nature. We can do it in our sleep, and of course, it's superior. We understand it, but we have to be considerate of a much bigger audience, and I think really cultivate the ability to break it down simply and say things in terms that make sense to someone who hasn't been steeped in it for a year or 2 years or more.
Exactly. I want to kind of jump along here and talk a little bit about Bittrex, because this was super exciting to me too. I signed up for Bittrex as soon as I heard that they were going to be adopting BlackCoin as a pair, and now I use it, and this is huge. I mean, traditionally there's always been the Bitcoin markets and the Litecoin markets. I mean, even on Cryptsy there's Bitcoin, Litecoin. Now that there's BlackCoin, the implications of that to me are staggering, because this means that we're able to buy BlackCoins, use our own BlackCoins, and then trade to other currencies and put some liquidity into them. What do you guys think about the implications of this huge change?
Well, at the moment, there's not a vast amount of volume happening in those pairings. I haven't checked in the last couple of days, but I see it more as like yet another of the early signs that something special is happening with BlackCoin. You know, as you pointed out, there was Coinkite, there are a number of other things. There are the kinds of events happening around the world, like this weekend. No other coin is doing this. Something different is going on with this coin in virtue of I think, the vitality of the community, the intelligence of the development team, and the brain trust, if you will. And so special stuff is happening. Little signs, It's not going to Bittrex pairings is not going to change the market overnight, but it's just one of many things.
Of course, yes.
Well,
I would.
Thing that I want to say about Bittrex, and one of the things that's overlooked right now, and I think I know why, is first of all, BlackCoin is much better for arbitrage situations because it's going from one exchange to another. So I think the part to blame is probably there's a psychological barrier right now with BlackCoin for a lot of the traders, and that'll just go away when things come in the market and people are buying the speed of exchange is going to be faster. I also think that that it shouldn't be like it shouldn't stop here. I think that we should make sure that a lot of coin, should get the coin on the exchange if we can. We also have NightTrader's exchange coming, which is going to be pretty huge, and I think I was hearing that there was going to be a high frequency exchange developed using BlackCoin. One of the barriers I see is some people have a hard time assessing value when trading black coins in terms of other coins, because as far as traders are getting very used to looking at money Satoshi, something as Bitcoin. So I think that maybe what the exchanges need to do is to give some sort of dollar or Bitcoin arbitrage like standard that they list for these black coin pairs, so that people can see what it costs in Bitcoin dollars.
Right.
Make it friendlier.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Or else they're not going to understand their spread. You know what I mean? They're not get.
Indeed.
So, yeah. But I think that'll come when exchanges start to improve their interface, and I think we community we're pretty full. I'm going to trade with,
Do you think the current altcoin market is sustainable with all the other coins coming into the marketplace these days?
Well, when you consider that most of them
getting slaughtered
and just kind of have the lifespan of a fruit fly, I think the market is going to survive. Individual coins, I think the vast majority of them will just be forgotten.
Yes, I agree. And I think part of that, I don't know if you guys maybe agree with this or not, but I think part of that is the fact that there's a coin, but it doesn't necessarily have any useful applications or cutting edge technology that comes along with it, whereas BlackCoin does. There's a lot of new projects that are coming out, a lot of projects that have been around that are exciting, and not other coins don't have that.
Yeah, look at the top coins here at CoinMarketCap. I see Mona coin, and like, is it the pictures of it is like of a cat or something? And top coin. And then I see Nixty coin. I don't know, and I see Cannabis coin. There's a lot of things that the only thing that I question is why are people even invested in types of coins? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Well, let's move on here a little bit, and I do have Jabulon's video here is part of this presentation. I don't know if the actual sound is going to work, but tell me if you can hear it.
I don't hear it, but maybe some others do.
Okay.
But you can watch it if you haven't already watched it 100 times. we'll
Exactly.
Find it.
We'll provide the link in the sub here, subreddit. But I'm excited about that. That's a great video. And then the new wallet. Just make sure you download the new wallet. It's got the new sleek interface with everything on the left. And you're starting to see this with a lot of wallets here, but I think BlackCoin is probably the most appealing to me these days. So.
Well, that's because you probably have some in it.
Yeah, exactly. I do. But yeah, so that's the new wallet. One thing we wanted to mention as well, Gritnald went to Shanghai. We'll have to hear about that from him, but we got all of the funds raised that we needed to get him out there. And when I read that, I was super excited about it because the fact that he's going out to Huobi, which is pretty much the largest, to my knowledge, the largest Bitcoin exchange that exists in China, invited as the guest of honor. I mean, BlackCoin was the only altcoin represented there. I mean, that's huge. That just shows you that people are looking at this coin and taking it seriously and moving it forward, and that the implications of him going to that, being invited as the guest of honor, was pretty amazing to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think implications are very nice, but I'm more excited about what he actually comes back with and has to say about the actual experience. But it is. Again, it's another early sign of a bigger scale of something coming in for BlackCoin.
Right, widespread adoption.
Yeah.
I think we should keep staying aggressive, as long as we're there at every conference in some way. One of the ways that I heard that Ethereum got popular was that they had like a lot of meetups internationally and stuff like that. Should identify the different where they hail from and find out, if I can't make it to a conference or Grit can't make it to a conference, we should find out who's there that can. Because there's a big conference coming up that if I can't make it, who's gonna go, So we need to figure out who's in the area and who can represent BlackCoin at all these things personally.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think that the fact that people are using BlackCoin all over the world gives us a better opportunity to look at that and see if we can get somebody out there to represent it.
Yeah, well, branding is the most important thing. If you talk to like any business, they'll tell you all that matters is brand name recognition. That's why I love Jabulon as far as coming out with BlackCoin video. Anything to just get it into people's heads. Just to. Because if you have a valuable product, and one of my little regrets about Halo is I don't have to brand. I got to brand Halo into people's minds because I don't have a choice. If I have a good idea, I want that idea to be popular in the world, and I want people to use it. But the only way to get it popular is to reach people and get the word out.
Exactly. That is very important. I think it's the most important thing, as you'd mentioned.
Yes.
I'd just like to point out, the phenomenon of, altcoins and striving for brand recognition, striving to have a voice. It's part of it, and it's a reflection of a larger phenomenon that embraces, among other things, all of social media. Now everyone can speak their little voice, have their little tweet. It's not about not being able to publish. You can blog, you can do this, you can do that. It's about having a big enough and loud enough voice so that you can be heard over the plurality, wonderful, rich, infinite variety of voices, and that's part of the chaos and also the liberating quality of of this whole time, where the individual is being empowered in these ways, empowered by encryption, empowered by yeah.
That's why we need to stay aggressive, because well, the only thing I don't like about the monetization aspect of some of these coins is people are competing over protocols. All the protocols are really good. A lot of the other coins, even the little coins, I'm sure they have something to offer. I saw one coin called a hot coin, and and it's just this crazy website, and then something came up. I was like, oh, that's interesting. They say that they can prevent botnets. What if we could take like all of these features, and keep combining them and integrating into our coin? I think we keep developing and keep adding and improving what it is, because with the branding problem, it shows that everybody's competing for the brand of the coin that they're holding. They're competing for protocols, which isn't right. We should be trying to solidify, the best possible qualities that we can in our coins, and really offer people the best product in the world. Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like kind of an organic process, so that the competition has its place at this early stage, where people are, people want to make money, people want to do a lot of things, and they're stimulated by competition, and then over time, the best things are skimmed off. I mean, you could cite as an example Sonny King's work. That he put proof of stake out there into the world, and then so much has, we've all taken it to new levels. But it's an evolutionary process, is what I'm saying, and even all the weirdness has its purpose, I think.
Well, I mean, any coin that has good recognition, I think they'll succeed. Even if Dogecoin starts creating new things, then they'll succeed.
Right.
So people just need to keep innovating, and they need to keep branding, and that's a good thing, like you're saying, a competitive market, and we hope that it stays competitive. But if we invite competition, then we have to make sure that we also stay very aggressive, and that we don't let the price convince the value. Because there's a lot of people that I think that they see that the price of BlackCoin has gone down, so they think that has something to do with the value of the coin, and they really couldn't be further than wrong. There was a point where Bitcoin dollars dollar. I mean, if you were holding at that point, you would have thought it was the end of the world.
Right.
So
yeah, to me, I don't typically look at the price at all. I mean, I like to know what the value is, but I don't look at it and say, oh, well, the price is down, I've lost money or gained money. To me, it's acquiring black coins, because at some point in the future, in the very near future, I'm going to be able to spend these and use them as a currency, with all of the exciting projects that are going on.
That's right, and also you can think of it a little bit like, you evaluate a stock, you look at a price to earnings ratio in the case of buying equities, shares of a company. It's not a perfect analogy, but some of it does carry over, because you have right now very low valuation, and the coin is worth, you could say very truly, it is worth much more than it was, 4 months ago, when it was way up there, over 25 cents a coin, translate to dollars. It is so much more developed now, and its promise, week after week, the innovation and the outreach to the world is vastly beyond where it was.
Yeah, I mean, even Bitcoin, the first couple months it was released, I mean, it wasn't worth much. Someone paid 10,000 Bitcoins for a pizza. I mean, it's the same thing with every cryptocurrency. I mean, it's more of a matter of widespread adoption and people using it for it to be, um, you know, valued at a higher price, but again, like you were mentioning, it's worth so much more because of the technology that's backing it up. Versus
The technology and the consciousness of the,
yeah,
how many human beings are becoming aware of it. That's growing.
yes, exactly, and that's awesome. The fact
We
that
need to give like the community reasons to want to stay, and we need to give the community reasons to keep supporting us, and we all of crypto, we should make them feel at home with every innovation that we come out with.
right, yeah,
We should keep them excited and remind them it's not about trading. And I really that's what I really set out to do with my projects and offer people something like a way to employ BlackCoin. Because now you have a way to make an contract. Now you have a way to do crowdfunding, where you could do multi-signature crowdfunding. So there's just so many things that you can do right now with it, that you can't do with other coins. And just for people to stay aggressive and to keep innovating and to keep helping, push this forward.
yep. And taking the bank out of the picture is part of what cryptocurrency is all about, right? It's about the individual using the coins to buy and sell things, and that it's all about, well, not necessarily all about widespread adoption, but widespread adoption is key, and you're going to see that in the coming months, I think, years. So
Well, with double escrow as well, you can make a derivative, and those derivatives will help support the price. I've a lot of times, like options and futures, they can earn you very literally. So if you created a future contract with BlackCoin and you wanted to support its price, you could do that.
interesting.
I was thinking of, well, yeah, you contract between the double deposit, and then you say, okay, I secure the price of BlackCoin, for 6 months. So you could back right now. You could back BlackCoins if you wanted to. Now, you could back with if you wanted to right now.
Cool. Yeah, you'll see that more in the future once.
I hope.
Once
I really hope so. I really hope people realize what can be done with this technology.
How can we get people to realize it? What could we do?
It was funny. I was asked the same question at the panel at Cryptolina on the Bitcoin 2.0 debate. I believe my answer was education.
That's a great answer. Yeah, people have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you because I mean it is about education for sure. The more people know about what you can do and why this is important, is as long as they learn and want to learn, then yeah, I think education is key.
We should make a little people about with the coin and the contracts and the proof of stake and stuff. Something that we could just like hand out to anybody, hand out to like a school, give it to like a finance class, college. I don't know, just a little. Like when we have people for BlackCoin spread all around the world, we could have them help educate. That's the whole point of being a decentralized service. But as a decentralized service, ironically, kind of if united as a community as a whole, I wish there was 500 people on today's BlackCast, so that we could all collaborate and have people go out. Yeah.
Like Cryptsy, Mintipal, and Bittrex here.
Right.
But I think you're right about education, and also just to think in terms of the younger generation. I have conversations almost daily with a 16-year-old in the UK. This young man, he's the son of a very good friend of mine, and we just started chatting on Facebook and told him about crypto. He got really fascinated with it, and now I'm kind of grooming him to be an emissary, a youth ambassador, if you will, because I can see that that's where a huge amount of energy is going to come in. I mean, when today's 10 and 15-year-olds are, graduating college and moving into their lives, they are going to make a huge impact. It's not all lying. We're like the founding fathers, or we're actually we're kind of like second generation already, but we're still founding father types for cryptocurrency.
Exactly. Yeah, I consider myself an early adopter of these types of technologies.
Maybe we would have like collector's coins, like you know how they have like Washington's face on.
Yeah.
Put like Rat 4, on a coin.
There you go.
Yeah, and actually another version of that might be some of these dead or near dead coins might become so bizarre.
They'll become collector's items.
They become collector's items, and their value, you'll find them traded on eBay for vast sums. My Flutter coin or whatever.
Actually, that's kind of funny. I guess they're kind of like baseball cards or something. We should just wait 10 years and see what these are really worth instead of selling them short.
We may encounter a scenario in the not too distant future where there is a real worldwide explosion in cryptocurrency, and people are just buying up any whatever coin just because it exists, and they want to get their money into cryptocurrency. That's entirely possible. I expect it.
Well, in that case, I think that my 1,000 coin will be worth something in the future.
I think that we should do some joint ventures with Dogecoin, like Black Doge. I was strongly considering that because they're the other coin with a big community. I'm not actually part of it, but I think it's pretty cool. Start setting up coins that have a vested interest.
That's a good point, though. That's something that's for sure worth thinking about, because it could be the future. That could be something that is interesting to people. I mean, people didn't think about that 100 years ago for cars. Buy a car now, and it might be worth exponentially more 100 years from now. Nobody thinks about that.
I could actually put a special supply to allow trading between BlackCoin and Dogecoin to combine the two networks. It wouldn't be that hard to do. I like the idea of unity we stand. The more cryptocurrencies that come out and dilute the market and confuse the consumer is not very helpful. I think that the old timers and should be working on what power continually developing, and I think just keep adding to their services. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it is a business in a way, if you think about it, because I mean, it's about branding, it's about getting recognition, it's about actually using the technology. So that has a lot to do with it, I think. Well, gentlemen, I want to be respectful of your time. I'm currently in the BlackCast and the BlackCoin channels. If anybody has a question, feel free to let me know. Do you guys have anything else that you'd like to talk about right now while we wait for a question or two?
Yeah, Alec Hahn was I need to mention that he's going to be in the conference in Cologne. It's the biggest German Bitcoin conference, and it's tomorrow. I want to give him my support. He's been so awesome. I've done so many things for BlackCoin. He's done so much of our artwork, and he did my websites, and now he's going out to promote BlackCoin and to promote Halo, and I wish him the best of luck.
Excellent. And Roulette Run wants to know what the future of Halo is. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but do you want to just maybe say a couple of concrete things about what the future is in your vision?
Yeah, in 2 to 3 days. I've already finished the BitHalo for public, because BitHalo is in private beta. The only reason I didn't release it, one thing I kind of say is past month been on our business prospectus, business plan. We've been doing a lot of marketing stuff. I was diverted because I had to go to conferences and promote, which I think is really good. That makes for BlackCoin, for Halo. It's been a distraction though, and there's been a lot of talking to different people who've just been basically, taking up my time and not actually offering any money. So,
of course.
So what it comes down to is that I have to develop myself right now, and I'm pretty much the only coder, with the exception of one other guy who's been helping me out a little bit, but it's just with the builds mostly. So, the future of Halo, within 2 to 3 days, I'll have a release out for Bitcoin and BlackCoin will be in the same client. So it's going to be the world's first multi-coin client as well. And people compare the difference between Halo and BlackHalo directly side by side.
What are you going to call it?
Just whichever one they download. It's BitHalo or BlackHalo.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But they click a button. Can I share? I can screen share, right?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Whoa, what's this? Full screen. Okay. Start screen share. Okay, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so this is what I'm working on. As far as Halo, I haven't been able to get too much coding done, but I've started, and now I've been doing it aggressively. So just like before, I do this all day now. I just have cleaned up the UI a little bit, like cleaned up some of the text. I have chat here now. So now, instead of the market tab having all those chats, I'm just reserving this for when we actually finish fixing BitMessage. Right now we have the chats, so that's good. The text I've just reduced, so it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye, but I'll make it better later as well. This is BitHalo, so but we can switch here to BlackHalo, just like that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I just switch from one coin to the other, just like that. And here's the best part: you can use the same key pair, like the same pair of keys that I use for BitHalo, I use for BlackHalo. So,
Yeah, it's all in one place, though. I mean, that's
yep,
awesome.
here.
I love it.
It generates a new address, but with the same pair of keys, and it'll be like that for every coin that we decide to give a Halo to. Of course, I haven't done it yet. The next goal is to get the market is going to be showing up pretty soon, but it's a catch-22. I can't have the market without templates, so that I can keep it clean. You know what I mean? Because I got to keep it clean.
Of course.
We're going for widespread consumer adoption, and even though this is the holy grail for certain types of services, I want to make sure that people basically have the options to do some of the things that I said that they were going to do by having coin trading, employment, and all that other stuff. That'll go right here, and that'll just be in the market. And then after I get that done, then I'm going to finish NightTrader's exchange. I already have a list finished for the engine, but unfortunately I don't have anything graphical to debut. So, but that'll be coming up pretty soon. I don't think I'll have it done by Vegas, so it might take about 3 months. For NightTrader's multi-signature exchange. This might be happening faster. I might be able to get this done within the month.
Exciting stuff. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Anything else you want to say or mention before we head out? Jabulon, you got anything?
Yes, I do. I would just like to give a few words of appreciation for Alisanne Frew, who was our master of ceremonies and event creator and organizer out in the south of France this weekend. She worked day and night making all the human connections and doing all the legwork to really make this this thing happen in the first place and come off in style. She's there. She's deeply connected to the community. She is an energy powerhouse, and she has done brilliant work for us. And I've put a little announcement about her on BlackFeed, and of course her donation address. I'm going to send her 1,000 BlackCoin tonight, and I hope others will follow suit and give her even more. First of all, show her some love and appreciation, and even increase her motivation, because this woman works harder than anyone I have ever met. So,
excellent. Well, we'll all be doing that.
Okay.
That's great.
All right, guys. Well, it's been great talking to you. Thanks to everyone who's watching. Thank you for attending this BlackCast. In the future, we're going to hopefully have some great guests for you, but we're going to be doing these things regularly. So we want to continue to get the word out there and promote the technology behind BlackCoin, which is quite possibly the greatest altcoin that exists today. So thanks to everybody who joined us today, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.